Hi everyone, it's Jennifer.
And it's Joniel, and this week we're going to be talking about how do I know when it's the right time to break up with someone?
This is such a difficult thing that people go through because on one side you're hearing people say, relationships will have their pros and their cons and there's going to be bad things, but you just got to work it through and commit in a relationship. But then there's the second side where sometimes people say, if you feel too depleted, you're not going to be able to live the fulfilling, best version of yourself possible if you continue on dating this person. So what do you do? Even if you don't know the answer yourself, even your closest friends or your own family won't be able to tell you whether it's time to break up with someone.
One of the main feelings that you feel when you're in a situation where you don't know if you should end it is denial. Like that,
Yeah.
It's like huge, and it makes you just question, I guess, like everything about the relationship, about you, whether you're doing something wrong. And I think like so much is going on in your mind that sometimes you even like rationalize the other person's actions, even when like an outsider could clearly tell that they're like, not acting the best or whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's just like a lot of back and forth in your mind, and
You don't even know if you're going through denial until it's all blown over. Like denial
look
is
back
just you don't
after.
even know if you're denying anything.
Yeah, and I think another thing too is that you hear a lot about compromise and that you can't just give up in a relationship. Like you have to work through things because relationships are not always going to be perfect. But at the same time, there's a fine line between like compromising and totally like dismissing like your self-worth and how much you value and like how much you should really put up with at the end of the day. So it's all about like balancing that and like trying to figure out, okay, when is the time to like break up? But it's like really hard to just know when.
Yeah.
And I think it's really lonely process because you're the only one that knows how you feel in that moment. And like Jen was saying, like no one else can give you the answer. And even if you share it with other people, it's just like sometimes they just don't get what you're trying to like tell them. And so it's just like, it's a really lonely process. And you're just like dealing with it by yourself.
So we know there's a lot of different types of cases out there, and we can't give you like this type of relationship means break up, this type of relationship means stay together. But we can kind of give you like some like thought processes. Like the first thing is whether the good outweighs the bad. And I think the analogy that I see is like when you're picking like a basket of strawberries, and then you'll see like a couple really really bad strawberries that's like makes the whole batch just like I can't work with this and I just don't want to buy it. And then there's another batch where it's like there's some like pieces that are mushy and not that great, but you know what, I can still buy it and I will never find the perfect basket but it's like I can still eat it. And that's kind of like choosing someone, I think. It's like there's some qualities you're just like, I cannot deal with this. Like the whole
Combination
thing.
of all of it,
Yeah,
it just
like-
makes it not.
like I can't deal with this. But there's some things, there's qualities you're like, it's not the greatest, but I can work with it. Like I can build a relationship out of it.
And there's always going to be some give and take in a relationship too. So you have to realize that you're really never going to find the perfect person.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to like, live with some traits and like, be okay with others. So
I think the way I frame it in my head is like, do I overall feel energized or depleted from someone? Does this person add value to my life? Do I feel like I'm like happy with myself when I'm in this relationship? And that all comes with, do the goods outweigh the cons?
Yeah, and I think it's really important to remember that you have to respect yourself enough to walk away from situations that make you feel sad, angry, lonely, like whatever those bad feelings are. Relationships are not supposed to be like that. Like no matter what, it's not supposed to like give you like this worrying feeling inside and like just make you feel angry, sad like all the time. Yes, there's going to be situations where you might be angry or sad or whatever, but overall the whole like combination of your relationship and everything shouldn't give you like a sour taste in your stomach, like you know what I mean? So I think if you are feeling that, you have to respect yourself enough to like know, you know what, like I'm worth more than this, I should walk away.
That you feel like you believe in yourself and you have enough faith in yourself that you can pick yourself back together and you can like continue on and build a better life for yourself from this.
And you're taking control over your life. Like I think a lot of times if you just like kind of stay in really bad situations, then the other person is like taking control of you and like having power over you. But the moment that you kind of like stand up and say, you like, no, what, I'm worth more than this, and like walk away, then that's really you like taking control and taking over your own actions.
It might not feel the greatest in that time, but I think over time it definitely is like a really liberating feeling.
For sure.
So I see this time and time again with my friends and even myself sometimes, where even though you rationally know that something's not going well or you shouldn't be doing this, you like, it's just a gut or your heart just in your body just won't let you act on the rational, reasonable thing to do. It's not like a bad thing, I don't think. I think sometimes you just really have to live out the bad to really feel certain that what you're doing is the right thing to do, right? So I think if you break up with someone when you're not really ready emotionally and you just do it, I think you almost will be very susceptible to like go back to that person, or kind of like be hard to get over it, because you might be like, oh, was it a good idea? Should I have done it? But when you kind of like go through something so bad for like a long time, then there's a point where you just feel so depleted and you're just like, there's nothing more for me to give in this relationship, and you know what, like, I'm done.
And something small too will just like trigger it and make you feel like, okay, like that's it, that's the last straw. It doesn't even have to be like a big blow up, it could just be like the tiniest little thing, but you kind of in that moment realize like, you know what, like I should have walked away probably a long time ago, but this is the time.
It'll be like, you didn't call me tonight, it's over. And we're like, what? We broke up for that, but there's like,
it's like a
so
build up of thing. And
exactly.
it's like in that moment your body just realized, and you just realize and had an awakening, like this is it. So we'd love to hear from you guys. Let us know below when you knew that it was the right time to break up with someone, and maybe it can help other people out who are questioning and wondering. And it's not to say that that's the time for them to break up with someone, but it can definitely get them thinking and maybe reflect on their own situation.
So I hope you took away something from this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to hear more from us, remember to subscribe to our videos.